Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we get to talk about good old Jamie, a free character that most people are going to be able to get to A7 due to the memory that we get from the login event, due to the 4 memories that we can actually get from the carnival, and also recently the 2 memories that we get from the 2 boss showdowns. If you're able to do this one, I think most players are not going to have too much trouble clearing this one, but this one definitely will be difficult. But even if you don't get this memory from this one, and you can get it from this one, and you can still get the 4 memories from the carnival, still get the memory from the exchange shop, and you'll obviously get the one from login event. You should be able to take this character to A7, but we're just going to be doing an A1 review just like the rest of the characters, guys. And I gotta say, man, when you play with this dude, he's pretty nuts. He's actually very, very strong, especially for a free to play character. I'm honestly shocked at how powerful he is. Now, he's the second purple attack that we got. The first one they got was actually Shen Wu, and his leadership is awesome because it works on every purple fighter in the game. That is so good. And your goal in this game is you want 3 purples, you want 3 reds, you want 3 yellow UE characters of each. That's what you essentially want, so you can at least use them in the plug-in plan and set up a full team, because this is where it's at, your overall points. And this is why you really try to level up characters to A5, because the higher level they are, the more overall points they have. So if you see here, we got level 10 right here, and then Shen Wu, we have 2830, and that's why, because he's actually at A9 completely maxed out. So for those of you that have questions about those overall points, you're newer players, you're not really sure about it, your characters aren't really doing that much damage in certain game modes, that would be why. It's because their overall points are just so low. But that's just the way the game does have these characters designed. So let's talk about this guy's kit. So his kit's pretty awesome, guys. Increased attack by 700%. This is more than Guile and Jury by 100%. He still has the 30% PG rate, the critical damage. His critical damage is a little less, but he does so many hits, and his skills, it really makes up the difference. So if you got a character that's doing 350% critical damage, and say they're doing 10 hits, for example, and you have a character that's doing 300% critical damage, and they do 15 hits, you can see how the difference would get made up as far as the ultimate damage at the end result of the ultimate damage that you would do would be, you know, about the same or maybe even more in some cases. So this is what's tricky about this character. His increased strike skill damage by 15% goes up to 60%, which means this needs to be done 4 times, gives him 60% increase to his strike skill damage, which is huge for this character. And the way that he achieves this is by hitting your UE skill. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But then he also decreases active skill cooldown by 12.5%. And again, you need to do this 4 times in order to get that up to 50% decreased active skill cooldown, which is bonkers on a character. It means you can run through your skills over and over and over. It's awesome. And increases attack speed by 2.5% up to 10%. So not only will you decrease the skill cooldown, you're going to have more active speed. You're going to be able to run through your skills a whole lot faster, and he's going to be a whole lot faster, which means he's going to land a lot more combos at a faster rate, which means he's doing more hits in the same amount of time as, say, another character. That is really sweet, guys. Really underrated. Really cool how they set this guy up. And it's almost like these Tenzin enhancements. It's pretty much like taking a drink, just like he does in Street Fighter 6. You know, he takes a drink, he gets an upgrade to his basic attack damage. Well, in this game, you know, whenever you do the UE skill, it's kind of like him taking a drink. It's kind of the same, a similar thing. It's pretty cool. And then you have the Immune to Fear, Petrified, Starlight Darkness. Decreased damage by 80% when HP is sitting 5% below. And this is actually really good because he's an attack type fighter. And he also gains damage immunity for 5 seconds when HP is 30% below on an 8-second cooldown. The reason it's good for attack type fighters is because they just don't have as high defenses as, say, a balance type or a defensive character. Those characters tend to be a little bit more tanky. So the fact that an attack type fighter's got this nice HP threshold for him to have that decreased damage by 80% is really good. This is always up, guys, when he gets below 80%. So that's actually nice, and aids in survivability. He also has increased active skill damage by 350%, increased finisher and special skill damage by 800%, which is nice. So when you take a look at his skills, guys, the UE skill is what gives him his Tizane enhancement. This is what you got to do 4 times in order to get the decreased active skill cooldowns, in order to get the increased strike skill damage. To max them out, you need to do this 4 times whenever you're playing with them. You do not want to do your Phantom UE skill, because what it does is it resets your active skill cooldowns, but it also increases ultimate drive skill duration by 1.5%. And ultimate drive skill duration is your awakened skill, okay? So whenever you hit this skill, it increases this awakened skill's duration by another 1.5 seconds, which means you're going to do a few more hits as long as you're not in your 3PG or your default. It's actually really awesome. He's got a really cool kit. In all honesty, guys, I'll show you exactly how to play him. His first skill gives him hyper armor. It also increases damage coefficient of the skill by 500% when there are 3 or more Tizane enhancement stacks. So more or less what that means is you need to hit the UE skill 3 times. And by the way, guys, that UE skill, that Tizane enhancement, has no cooldown. Once you get the enhancement, it'll never go away. It'll never disappear, which is awesome, guys. That makes them really easy to play, just a little difficult in the very beginning. But when you have 3 or more of these Tizane enhancement stacks, you're going to get that increased 500% damage on this skill. That is sweet. And then, of course, he deals poison damage for 5 seconds, which is nice. On his second skill, by the way, guys, all strike skills, all these skills are getting buffed up by that Tizane enhancement core that he has. His second skill, decrease enemy defense by 8%, increase target damage by 100%, OP for increasing your damage, but he also increased the damage coefficient of the skill by 500% when there are 2 or more Tizane enhancement stacks. 2 or more. So again, when you have 3 enhancement stacks or just 2, this skill is getting that extra 500% damage. And then, of course, he removes the target's hyper armor, super armor, and all this. They seem to put this on every one of these characters so far that we've talked about, and it's really OP for PvP. Removing all this, removing everything that protects your characters in PvP, it's pretty OP if you're into PvP. And then the third skill, another PvP, which is pretty cool, but it allows movement while in use. So you can literally move around when you're using this third skill. Pretty dang cool, pretty cool skill to watch. But he also increased damage coefficient of the skill by 550% when there is 1 or more Tizane enhancement stacks. So you can see how having the maximum amount of Tizane enhanced stacks, his damage is going to go up tremendously. He's going to appear weak at first, but if you play with him and you know how to play with him, his damage is going to go up tenfold, guys. It's going to go up big time. Then he also has a PvP exclusive where he removes targets damage reflect and damage immunity, then disables damage reflect and damage immunity for 10 seconds upon landing skill. This is really, really good against characters that have reflect. This is actually very, very nice, and removing their immunity is also really good on top of removing the hyper armor from the second skill. So really OP PvP wise, and honestly PvE really OP as well. Now, his default does increase the damage coefficient of the skill by 1000% when there are 4 or more Tizane enhancement stacks. So it's really, really important to use this skill because you get that increased damage coefficient of the skill by 1000%. This is going to buff up all your other skills. So it's really, really important to do the default before you start running through your skills. It also, the PvP exclusive, recovers HP equal to 20% of attack upon use. So in PvP, when he does his default, he actually gets a heal. That's nice, guys. He actually gets a heal from that thing, which is pretty cool. And then his 3PG increases his strike skill damage, which is pretty sweet. And as always, guys, with A1 characters, there's no plugins or anything like that on them. We're just going to use these option cards. I am using this option card, and I have found, guys, at least with this guy, that having the increased attack is really OP for him. It really does well for him. This increased attack by 40% is so good. Man, that's a potent card. And then on top of that, we have this card that increases attack by 50%. So literally he's getting 90% increase to attack from having these 2 option cards. And then, of course, the set that we have on him. So let's take him for a spin, guys, and let's see how he does. Today we're actually going to do a live run instead of a pre-recorded run because he really is super fun to play, and he's very easy to play when you know how, guys. So your objective when you're playing with this character is you're trying to get those 4 Tizane enhancement stacks on him so you get the most damage. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm going to be using Luke as a striker because he increased attack by 15%, decreased skill cooldown, which is what you want. You always want decreased skill cooldown as a striker so you can run through your skills even faster. But I'll show you guys what I'm talking about with the Tizane enhancement stacks. All right, we'll just do a quick little thing here and I'll show you what to look for. So we're just going to run through our skills. We got our 3PG, and then his 3PG is actually really long and really cool. This is one of the better 3PGs that we have in the game, in my humble opinion. I love that his dreads come out. Really cool. So what you want to do, guys, is you want to hit the Tizane enhancement stack here, hit the UE skill, and you get the Tizane enhancement stack, right? And then you would use this skill, right? And you're going to do it again. Now you got a 10-second cooldown on the Tizane enhancement stack. So literally, we would hit it again, and you see we have 2 stacks. And you want to keep doing that until you get to 4 stacks. So watch what I do to get the 4 stacks. So we get the increased strike skill damage by 60% and the decreased active skill cooldown by 50%, right? On top of the increased attack speed by 10% from his core from doing that. So again, we're just going to run through the skills, do our 3PG, and when the 3PG is over, we're going to hit the UE skill. Do not hit your Awaken skill before the UE skill, because if you do, the UE skill changes into a Phantom UE skill. So hit the UE skill, boom, there we go. Now we do the default, to kill a little time. I love the little smack at the end. It's so cool. Okay. And we're going to run through our skills. We're going to hit the skill, and there we go. Now we got 2 Tizane enhancements on him, right? Notice that I'm not hitting the Awaken skill at all. I'm not using it at all. We will, but we're not going to do it just yet. Okay. Okay, we want to hit the default. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to kill a little time here. Okay, and now we're going to do the 3PG. Now, what we want to do after this is we want to hit our Awaken skill and then hit the UE skill so we can get that extra duration on our Awaken skill. So we're going to hit the default, okay, to get that increase the coefficient damage. We hit the Awaken skill, we hit the other skill, all right? Just in that order, guys, and you want to start spamming your skills, okay? And you will see a pretty large increase in damage in this guy. It's pretty wild, okay? Boom, 50 billion already, guys. Like, when you get all these Tizane enhancements stacked up, his damage goes up massively. It really gets crazy. So again, we're going to try to do the default. Do the default. Hit both of these, hit both of these. And rock and roll. I'm just going to keep plowing, guys, because it doesn't matter. Move away. There we go. There we go. And do the 3PG, right? So easy to play, so fun to play. Definitely a spammer when you run through his skills, but notice how fast his cooldowns are on his skills, right? Hit that default again, we'll hit the Awakened skill, and then we'll hit the Phantom UE skill again. Boom, 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 right? Now, if I was playing him to where we had him in A3, I'd probably be playing him a little bit different. But because he's A1, we don't have the Phantom UE skill from his core actually unlocked. So this is the best way to play him if he's just A1, at least in my humble opinion. And from the testing I'm done, but his damage is crazy. So we're just going to wait for Geese, see what he does, do the default. Okay, I knew he's going to blow up. I knew he's going to blow up. There we go. No big deal, no big deal, guys. We're just going to keep on plowing. Okay, keep on going. Get that damage out. Oh, my boy is getting it done. Always bring in your striker as much as you can also, so you get those link buffs from them. That also helps in the damage that these characters do. Okay, so we're going to do the 1, 2, 3, do the default. You can see the pattern that I am using, guys. Okay, we want to spin around to the other side. I mean, look at this guy go, guys. Look at him go. This is your free character. This is your free character that they gave us. And all of you are going to be able to get this guy to A3. All of you are going to be able to put 5 imprint stones on this character. Let's wait. There we go. I love it. Hey, no big deal. We got an extra 1.5 duration. We'll spin around to the other side. There we go, there we go, there we go. Oh, he's about to break. He's about to break. And we're going to do the default here, so that way we can get a good amount of damage while Geese is stunned. Help that damage a little bit. And do the 3PG. I mean, he's going to get 200 billion, guys. He's going to hit 200 billion at A1. Right? Using the same stone, by the way, as the other Street Fighter characters. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm waiting for my default. And look at this guy go, guys. Look at him go. Right? 222 billion. I tried hitting the pause, but it's all good. 222 billion. Your free character at A1. These are Guile numbers, guys. These are Guile numbers. The character that you have to pull out of the banner, this guy's doing just as much damage. Right? And you can still use him as a support. He just won't be as good as, say, Guile or Jury, in my opinion. But still, an awesome character. Seriously, for a free character, this guy's pretty dang bonkers, man. So, guys, let me know what you think about Jamie. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GG+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody. Take care.